ascending colon.
And so, Josh, this is one of the things that you love, is that when you're in Arsenal gear,
it's organs.
It's all organs. And actually, Kojima has said that he wanted the journey through Arsenal gear to be similar to, Metal Gear 1 for the MSX.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what the fuck is happening?
He wanted this journey through Arsenal gear to be reminiscent of Pinocchio going through the whale's stomach. So that's why they're named. The belly of the beast, so to speak.
You can almost see something.
And he's about to tackle Moby Dick with
his dick.
Pain, yeah. The Moby. Good one, Dora.
But this.
This is it. Oh my
what
God.
the fuck?
If anyone remembers, any of our fans remember,
I thought the game actually glitched out and broke when I played this.
When fans remember of our series and we did our introduction video and we all named like our favorite things about the series, this was my example. This is my example of what I love about this series.
This is what's...
There is something I have been
this is so fucked up.
I just couldn't.
This is just manipulative.
On Saturday morning last week, I saw a guy leaving Rosemary's room. How should I put it? It was like they were intimate.
Yeah, this
I'm sorry.
Computer's gone haywire.
Yeah, it's a cold, emotional computer, but he's manipulating
and then
him.
What the fuck is going on? Why is there a video of a lady?
I actually think that's it's actually someone's girlfriend. Like one of the... I think
Sarah clearly wants to say something.
I just wonder, like, because he's seen as such an emotional character by doing these things and trying to, like, tell you to shut it off and you keep ignoring it, and having Rose say to shut it off, you keep ignoring it, being naked, trying to keep your hands on your crotch, and then saying like, oh, I just saw this guy leaving. Like, they're still playing into that, like, you're weak,
right?
You're more feminine, you can't succeed, and we need to play on your emotions so that you can essentially fail.
Yeah.
I need Scissors 61. I'm sorry. That's a famous quote. That's like a fan, like, I love it. I need Scissors 61.
Did you guys have that same experience? Like, when this actually happened and I was playing the game, I thought my game was broken. I thought my game glitched out. I seriously thought something was
that's
broken.
exactly what you're supposed to think, yeah. It's very reminiscent of when you're playing Psycho Mantis and it says Hideo Blackout.
That's exactly what I thought of. I think when I first played it, I thought, well, it freaked me out, one, and I didn't know what was going on, but also it reminded me a lot of Psycho Mantis, and then I thought, oh, okay, the game is doing this. This is part of the game.
Like, to mess with you.
Here comes the music.
So I'm going to say that we're talking about Rose's character, whether or not she's supposed to be likable. It turns out that she's a spy for the Patriots, that she never really loved him.
But this is when, I don't know, because like this is when the computer's malfunctioning, but at the same time, is any of this even...
Yeah, what's reality at this point?
Was she real to begin with?
It's going to get weirder as the game goes along. Yeah, it's actually questioning if Rose is even a real person.
That's what's left ambiguous at the end. You still don't know.
And so that really complicates the thing of, like, this is supposed to be Kojima's ideal woman, and she might not even exist.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Hey, but maybe that's reality. We have these ideals and we grow up and we, like, even that whole concept of the prince in Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh, yeah.
We have this fantasy of who we're supposed to be with or who we need to be with, and maybe they don't exist at all because it's all made up because of society.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this could be it.
Oh, this
echoes Eva from from Ex Machina. No.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh, great connection.
She just said, like, I modeled my hairstyle, the way I looked, what I wore, like, to your tastes.
And to the world,
which,
you guys
again,
should totally see that.
A machine.
I have to say, this is a reference to a Hitchcock film, Vertigo.
Yeah, I was thinking
Whereas the whole plot is that this woman is being used by her husband to fake a murder plot to have this detective, like, they fake a murder so the detective can testify in court that this guy didn't murder his wife. And the same thing happens where he hires this girl to dress up as wife and dress the way the detective likes and put her hair up the way that the guy likes just to fool him. And she pretends to be in love with him, but then she does fall in love with him. But then when he finds her again, he makes her dress up that way again until it kills her. And so, like, Rose is almost exactly like that character from Vertigo. And it's, again, the whole idea of fucking identity. And how do you identify yourself? Are you identified by what you do or who you are or how other people see you?
Mm-hmm.
But I did fall in love with you. That wasn't an...
And is she even real?
Yeah, I fell in love with you. But wait, what if you're a machine? How did you fall in love with me?
Is she a machine?
I don't know.
Is this part of the manipulation still?
Does Rose exist somewhere?
Jack.
What?
that's what I assumed the first time I played this, that Rose exists somewhere, but she's completely unaware of anything in this game. That she's just off somewhere.
And now she's pregnant.
And now she's pregnant.
Yeah, this is, again, like, no, this... No.
Is that true, or is that just, again, emotional manipulation?
Is it a part of manipulation, or is it a part of his rebirth to like let go of everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
And also, there's a whole thing about idea
Here
of
comes the ass, man.
babysitting and being a father, and now Raiden is potentially a father?
There's the hierarchy.
There it is,
again.
right there. Look at that.
And now, this is Snake realized. Because up until this point, he's pretending to be Pliskin. Even though he's calling himself Snake, it's not the Snake that we know.
Right.
And now this is the Snake that we've expected, that we've been waiting for the whole game, and he's here, full armor, and he's somehow managed to bring all of our weapons and our armor back, and he's also he's giving us like ammo, and it's just like it's breaking the game. He's this impossible image of this macho hero that's coming in at the last second to save us.
This is also the point where the game gets relentless.
Right.
It is just cutscene, codec, cutscene, codec.
There's not a whole lot of gameplay left.
Yeah.
If I really think about it.
There's the idea of like, for a person who's never played the first game and you can skip the tanker session, if you haven't played a Metal Gear game before and you meet Pliskin, you don't really know who he is. And so you don't really trust him, especially since the Solidus is calling himself Solid Snake.
Right.
And so to come to trust this guy and look up to him, and then he becomes a bad guy, like he beats you, like he knocks you out and gets you kidnapped.
I'd really like to know what that looks like from that perspective.
Right.
I can't forget Solid Snake though.
Yeah,
I wish I could like blank out and just play the game with the tanker section, or not the tanker, but the big shell section, and just, I don't know, have that perspective of not knowing who he is and see what that feels like.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the context in which I've seen him before, I have expectations
Okay,
of
give
him.
me a fucking
And they
sword.
give you a fucking vibranium, I don't know what it is. It's like some special sword that
The
can block
high-frequency
bullets.
blade.
High-frequency blade, yeah. And it's just making you basically...
Again, Snake uses guns,
Yeah.
Raiden uses blades,
But he's making you like...
separating himself from...
It's the hero's journey, where the mentor giving him his power, his special power.
Yeah.
And like in the whole rebirth thing, he's been realized. It's basically Luke becoming a Jedi and getting his lightsaber.
I believe he used it as Jack, the Ripper, as
Oh,
well.
possibly. Oh, that'd be oh yeah, because they showed a picture of him like carrying a knife. That would be like a weird thing though. It's like, remember when you used to murder innocent people with this? Have this back.
This is your thing.
Is it a weird thing, or is it part of the rebirth again?
Right.
I mean, there's full connections
Like,
of
this
like,
is who
here,
he
let's
is.
let's
Right.
bring you back to consciousness.
His real identity.
Let's remind you. Let's add everything that we took away, and let's try to remind you of who you actually are.
And a random like
Sorry, Snake.
a random like tutorial at the end of the game. But
Yeah,
I mean,
I love this sword. I wish you could have it throughout the game.
Maybe that, like, where do tutorials usually go? At the start of the game.
and this is like
And so this is, again, part of that rebirth.
so technically this game has had 3 starts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so Kojima's actually said that the plot device of all the characters giving lies at least one point or betraying and going against each other's like backs. He said that was based on the movie L.A. Confidential. So he said,
I'm going to hold this really straight and run.
if you get chopped, it's your own fault. But
You did it, Snake.
Kojima says in the design document that a series of betrayals and sudden reversals to the point where the player is unable to tell fact from fiction. This is extremely difficult to implement in an action game, but we are aiming for the type of development and structure seen in the film L.A. Confidential. Our intention with the previous game was to have a very clear and understandable story, but this time we will aim for an entertaining story with a lot of foreshadowing. So he's basically just trying to fuck with us.
Sweet.
You can switch it over to non-lethal as well, can't you?
Yeah, I forget. I think
HF
you.
blade.
You can hit with the other side of the blade,
I think it's both buttons. No, it's like in
It
here.
turns blue.
Dora, who you kidding? You're not a non-lethal player.
Sorry.
Just take him out, Dora.
Of course.
Why start being non-lethal now when you've
Yeah,
been given the
especially
fun
at this
sword?
next part. It's such a bitch. There's no way you could do it non-lethal. Well, I'm sure there is, but there's no way I'm going to do it non-lethal.
He knows what he's doing with
Why
that
not take
sword.
the chance?
Time to go. If you run out of ammo, you can have mine.
You got enough?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. He's got infinite ammo, man. He's
So
good.
what a fucking like game-breaking thing. It fully acknowledges that it's a video game because that's a cheat from the first game. After you do the replay, you get a bandana that gives you infinite ammo as a reward, like a trophy. And so Snake is not even a real person at this game. Have you ever been sexually aroused while stabbing a hobo?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
And somehow a lot of this went over my head and a lot of other people's heads when they were a kid playing this. This is too... I shouldn't have been playing this game at my age.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way I
couldn't
could have gotten
comprehend
this.
it.
There's a lot of games that shouldn't be played at the ages that they are.
Yeah.
But Josh, just a thing like about your theory about the whole VR thing, that none of this is really happening. Couldn't you also interpret this as being post-traumatic stress from Raiden, from having his identity brought back to him, that realizing that he's Jack the Ripper and being unable to deal with the moral the moral implications that he's a murderer?
No.
That he's
I feel like he's reconciled by the end of the game after all this talk about it, like what he's doing with Snake right now, talking about it.
But
I
is
think
that-
he sort of reconciles that.
But given all the things that you say about this not making any logical sense and things coming apart at the seams and things blurring into reality, wouldn't you say that it's a coping mechanism? Because that's the thing that he's been conditioned with and comfortable with as VR simulations.
Somebody might have that reading. I've never heard that reading, but I mean, I could see somebody reading it that way. I've never really thought of it with that reading in mind, so I don't know.
I'm curious, though, just because the whole psychological thing. I mean, how do you feel about that?
I don't think there's any PTSD elements because normally when there's a PTSD situation, there's complete stoppage. Like you can't function. It's kind of that element of when you hear something that reminds you of a situation.
So if he was having post-traumatic stress, he wouldn't be able to do anything. He would just shut down.
He would just be shutting down. He
Okay.
or he would black out and he would just go crazy and respond in a way that he would be had he been in a war or murderous type element. So
he would turn, if that was the case, he would just turn back into Jack the Ripper, just being bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
What?
I mean,
And
there's
not even
different
seeing it.
responses.
He would feel like he was there.
Yeah, there's different responses to PTSD, but most of it is the emotional element that you
Right.
feel bad afterwards is the after part of the episode.
Right.
So you wouldn't be seeing that right away. Right now, if it's emotional, it's either remorse or he's actually trying to deal with the moral implications of what he had done and realizing that that's not him now.
This is one of the reasons why I love that you're here, that we can actually ask you a very real question and get a real answer to it. So that would rule out a very literal interpretation of him having PTSD because it's not a realistic portrayal.
Mm-hmm.
But this game isn't very realistic.
Not at all.
So I would say just for the sake of argument, at this point in the game does go haywire and you are unable to do anything non-lethal coming up. You have to murder people. You have to go on a kill crazy rampage in the elevator scene.
Yeah, you do have to kill the Tengu or whatever they're
Yeah, you
called.
have to kill the ninjas.
But you might... maybe you could probably survive long enough having Snake kill
Snake
them all.
will do it for you. Snake will do it for you.
Yeah, okay.
But the game is prodding you to kill people.
Right.
It wants you to take people out and to fall back. Even if you've been playing the game stealth the entire time, it's way
Which
easier.
I wasn't.
Well, yeah, you can... Oh, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 2 is the first of the series that you can go the entire game and not kill a single
Oh, is
person.
that true?
Right,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
true. Yeah.
You can... 0 kills.
So you have to kill someone in this game.
No,
Whoops,
you don't.
Said Snake.
No, this is
You
the
can
first
get
game where you can kill nobody.
You can get away with it. You can get away with not killing people, but it makes it really hard for you at this point in the game.
Right, and that's part of the charm and the challenge of it is, like, I beat the game without killing anybody. So you can do it.
He's not responding poorly by killing people, though.
Right.
He's still doing an active job. Like, you're not seeing any poor responses.
Dora could
on
be
Dora's
using the non-lethal side of the HF blade right now. Like,
No, I'm
you
not-
don't have
Right.
to.
No, I'm not saying that he's. I'm just saying that from a design point of view,
Okay.
you're still playing the game capable, and he's in control, and he is. I'm saying for like that sort of like the game is going haywire design point of view. Like, what if you were trying to play the game in a non-lethal playthrough, and the designer's like, as a twist,
Kidding.
now you can't do it.
Oh, that doesn't work, I guess.
I think that would be interesting just in any game to be like a game understanding your patterns and then being like, kidding.
Yeah.
Now experience it this way. For like the older population
Right.
who wants to analyze those sort of things, how do you respond when
Well-
you don't have a choice?
Well, that actually comes into play in Snake Eater, where the game does something. There's a special level that is adaptive to the way that you've played the game. So Kojima,
It's great.
He really has been thinking about these things.
Oh,
I think that's a huge social test, though. I think
Yeah.
that's something like psychologists, and again, I'm going to generalize, but I think they would
Generalize
find
away.
I think that they would find that really interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, even to people, laymen like Dora, I, and Josh. I mean,
You have to consider who's playing and how they're playing as well, though, because there's. Do you put yourself in the world, or do you continue to remind yourself that you're playing a game?
Right.
So if you're doing that and you're saying, "Oh, I'm just playing a game," no sweat killing everybody because
Whoa.
hey, it's just a game.
That can happen.
Yep.
I guess. Sorry, guys.
Fish and mailed? Oh, you didn't get the fish and mailed.
Not fish and mailed.
But if you're playing it like if you're role playing the character, then yeah, you don't want to maybe kill anybody.
Follow me.
I don't know why.
You need that HF blade, yo.
I want to, but
It's also strange with just like these demonic cyborg ninjas that have come out of nowhere.
Right,
Where
the
have these
Tengu?
guys? Yeah, where have these guys been the
This
whole
entire time.
Yeah. Well, I think it's supposed to be that they've been hiding inside the actual Arsenal gear, which is the Metal Gear for this game. And it's also weird that it's not like a Metal Gear that we're used to. It's just a big boat
Yeah.
that you're inside of. It looks like a giant stingray.
You're playing with expectations. You expect a Metal Gear to be a walking tank, and it's not. It's a floating boat.
Right. But we do have the Ray in this game, but we saw Ray in the first, we saw it in the tanker, which
Right.
would have been the demo. It's also interesting that you're supposed to be defined by the high frequency blade and be able to deflect bullets, but that these guys are doing it left and right, so it kind of makes you seem a little less special.
I would have been more interesting, I think, if they took your guns away and made you use the blade
That would have been interesting too, yeah.
as like part of Raiden's identity.
Yeah, he has to use the sword.
it's not easy because they're all up. They go up top and stuff, so you can't get to them.
Yeah. I died multiple times trying to use the blade on this.
You have?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't
It's
surprise
tough.
me. It would be tough. Because I love the blade.
She loves the blade.
Shut up.
I love, you love the blade here. Wait till we fucking play Rising. God damn it. It's so good.
You're so obsessed with the Rising.
We'll get to
I can't wait to show you it. It's so fucking good.
Rising in about 3 years, Josh.
In its own way.
Yeah, really, I know.
all of you guys out there who hate Rising, it's good in its own way.
It's not a Kojima game.
Right. It's you have to accept it as not
And
a
we're
Kojima game.
sad thing. I hate saying this. It kills me in my soul. We're gonna have to get used to Metal Gear games that aren't Kojima games.
I'm not playing a single fucking one after MGS5.
Josh is rage quitting.
Nope. If it's not Kojima, fuck off. Unless it's Metal Gear Rising.
Unless it's
too.
Metal Gear Rising.
But that's the thing, though, is that you say that, and yet you say unless it's. What if there's another Metal Gear Rising that's on?
Well, I would buy another Metal Gear Rising.
But what
if
if
it was Platinum Games? That's the point. It has to be Platinum Games.
I guess I'm on the level of like, let's see what they can do. It won't be it won't be the Metal Gear series that I'm familiar with, but maybe they can do something different. Like, what if it's not a reboot?
I
That's
guess
the
I don't
only thing I don't want them to do. Just don't do a reboot.
They don't have any good ideas. I don't care.
I don't want a reboot, and I don't want. Like,
why is he stepping in the
I
middle
don't
of
want to
it?
see a game about the boss unless Kojima's
he's
doing
going
it.
down.
If they make a game about the boss and it's not Kojima, fuck that game.
You know what they're going to do. They're going to run that shit into the fucking ground. They're going to milk it for every dollar it's worth. That has a 30-year legacy, and they're going to shit all over it.
See, that's the thing is, like, I don't... sorry, guys. I just don't see the point of there being a Metal Gear game without Kojima.
Money.
Yeah, it's all.
Money.
Now we're getting into politics.
No, but it's me playing it.
Oh, I see. As a fan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to play it. I would play another Rising, and I gave that game a chance. And I love Platinum Games, so that's why I gave it a chance.
You know, case in point, we are doing a show that is a whole love letter to Metal Gear Solid, and we're playing through all the games in the series, except for one, Portable Ops.
Yeah.
And that's the litmus test right there. That's the first non-Kojima Metal Gear game, and I don't think any of us have played it.
No.
I think I've watched playthroughs, and I know the story, and I know the ins and outs of it, but I've never actually gone through and played it.
I probably would have played it had it been on a system that I owned. I didn't own a
That's fair.
PSP, and
That's
I didn't
fair.
have. I had a Vita for a bit, but I never
Yeah.
bought Portable Ops on it. So
That's fair.
I might have given it a shot. But if they're gonna make another Rising, if it's not Platinum Games, get the fuck out.
Also, just the music. I love the music. It's so like weird
Haunting.
and cheesy, but creepy still. I don't think this is Harry Gregson Williams though.
It's all synthesized and like spooky sounding.
Yeah, it just seems like it seems so untethered in reality. that this is a nightmare. This is all a nightmare.
Oh, what's up?
Oh, what are you doing?
Yeah, what's up, Snake?
Don't put that thing at me.
I'm not falling behind Snake.
Moron.
So Dora, do you think this is more fun now that you're on a kill? Like, it's encouraging you to go on a kill crazy rampage?
I think it's fun, but it's kind of mindless.
Doesn't it take kind of the, like, some of the thrill of trying to sneak and think your way through it? Like,
Yeah, I like it when I'm not on like a full alert. That's kind of nice.
I think that Metal Gear's mechanics also don't really allow for a comfortable way to shoot a lot of people because you're not. It's counter to the theme and the design of the game to shoot a bunch of people, and so this is like going directly against that. So it's not really that fun. It's a lot more fun in like Ground Zeroes because they've changed things, but most of the games it's like not fun to shoot a bunch of people.
was that guy grabbing his crotch?
Yeah, you missed
Soul
that
Post
earlier.
pointed that out
Oh.
earlier.
Yeah, she got him right in the groin, and he grabbed it, and like blood spewed out first. And then somebody else she hit in the head earlier, and he vomited blood. It was very graphic.
I just realized something. These guys are wearing the same
God
suits
damn it,
that
Snake.
these guys are wearing the same suits that Olga's wearing.
Is it the same suit? Maybe that's why she's able
That's
to.
why she's able to do the backflips and deflect bullets. I never thought
That's
about
the
that. That
suit.
answers
That's all
my
the
fucking
suit.
question. There are these tango suits and they just spray painted it to look like Deep Throat.
Yeah.
You're low on
I never made that connection
I
before.
know, I'm trying to heal myself, but everything's happening all at once.
Oh, okay, just check.
All that's coming down
Just
around.
Yeah, I know.
Yours. I found out where he is. Where? Inside Arsenal. What? I've checked out all the possibilities, but I keep coming back to Arsenal. It isn't a relay point, it's the origin of the signal. And the encryption protocol it uses is exactly the same as that of Arsenal's AI, the so-called GW. What the hell does this mean?
What the hell does that mean?
You've been talking. The phone call's
whole
been coming in
time.
front of the house.
You've been talking to a robot.
A Roy bit.
Probably isn't GW.
Robot caution.
GW was most likely stimulating cortical activity in the dormant.
So if
part
this
of
is
your
all made up.
But see, here's the other thing too, is that it's saying that Colonel's been stimulating the nanomachines in your brain to make you hallucinate. So there is the argument that this isn't a VR, that it's just him hallucinating all these things, which would connect it to Metal Gear Solid 4. Now, I think that the VR is a much better explanation and much more accurate for the thematic implications of the game.
And also supported by a lot of evidence.
You're standing right here in front of me, not an illusion, flesh and blood.
So you're saying Snake is lying?
Snake is a liar because he's a robot.
So not even Snake is real.
Snake is the most honest man. How dare you? Oh, wait, let me grab that ration. Thanks.
The sigmoid colon.
Oh, dear God.
The codec parade
assault.
continues.
I don't mind the codec.
It's a barrage.
Who's got Rose?
Who's got Rose?
They.
Being held in the holds.
It's a
Or
trap.
they mean.
In the holds of your mind.
Held in the
She
holds.
say help over like the codec.
Hold in the helds.
What does that mean?
I don't know. She's being held in the holds.
Take Rose hostage. Yeah,
Okay.
This is like this
This
is the whole thing. Like they don't exist, but they're kidnapping each other, but they're lying about them being exist.
Don't be weird.
Does Snake even exist? Like what the fuck is happening?
dreamt up. Then
It's like everybody's trying to convince you that they're real,
Right.
but you should believe that no one is real.
Yeah.
So basically,
Trust no one.
This is
Trust
basically
no one.
the ending of Total Recall. It's all a dream.
Yeah, but Snake is the only one that you want to believe is
Yay.
real.
You know what I believe is real? Our next episode coming up after this.
You're terrible at this.
I love doing it. It's
terrible
it's
at
great. It's great. All right, so we're going to see more healing, Raiden squatting in the next episode. And Soul,
Squatting heel.
Squatting is so refreshing.
so refreshing. All right, guys. And Soul, hopefully we'll see you in the next episode.
Hells yeah.
Hells yeah. Hells yeah, guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks.